Coming up on this episode of the Girls Group Chat podcast.
Shannon, I can't even look at your stuff at the minute online because I'm so triggered by it.
Yeah. I was flabbergasted.
We get more aggressive every week.
I know. Somebody in the family will know, why you say that, Drizzle? Because that's what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we giving it weird names?
Why are you not allowed to say that? Welcome to the Girls Group Chat podcast with me, Olivia.
Me, Diona.
Me, Jordan.
And me, Shannon. Oh my god, you got it in the right camera.
I know.
Wow.
I'm concentrating so hard.
Special welcome to all our Patreon members, of course, as usual. Thank you so much for being on there. And if you haven't joined our Patreon, are you actually fucking wise? Get over there right now. It's £1 a week, £4 a month. We get more aggressive every week.
I know.
But do you know what? I think that's going to be my trope from now on. I'm just going to say it aggressively.
Yeah.
But you
Fear
get
them.
pre-sale tickets. We've just released our tickets to the Sunday Social, the Halloween. I was going to say Halloween episode, the Halloween edition.
Day out. Yeah.
You get pre-sale tickets over there for any of our gigs and stuff. Also forums, chats, weekly episodes, and all of the content that we've released before. So millions of content and blogs.
Oh, the archival stuff is on there.
Yeah, so patreon.com/the Girls Group Chat podcast.
Get over there or else.
That is the place to be.
See this colour combo with the hair? Fabulous.
Do you like it?
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's giving transition between summer and autumn.
We just said that before we started.
Yes,
Because
because I was saying
I wasn't
this
listening.
is probably the last week that I could wear this before it's very autumn.
Yeah.
You know, because we sometimes get a bit of warmth.
You get like a wee second wind.
There was still
Yeah.
bits of
September, October.
18 degrees showing in my car today.
It's just still warm,
This is the trouble I had when I was trying to choose a outfit as a wedding guest, because I'm going to a wedding at the end of this week. And I've just been to the wedding the way this time works. I can't remember. I think I've been to the wedding a few days ago. But there was dresses that were still colourful, and I was like, oh, these are gorgeous, but they're given Mexico in the sun.
Yeah.
You know
But
what I mean?
September last year, I'm again going to be at a wedding just past when this comes out. But I went to a wedding the exact same date in the exact same place this time last year. So weird. Only went to one wedding last year and it's in the same place that I'm going to this year on the same date. And it was the nicest. The sun was splitting the trees.
This
I
is
just
it.
never
know.
roasting, and I wore black, and I was sweating my balls off.
Yeah.
But then do you want to chance it? Because you can wear the dark colours in the sun, but can you wear the bright colours in the rain? You know what I mean?
Oof.
There's the burning question.
On everyone's lips.
You'd be indoors.
Well, all right then, that's fair enough. You do tend to get married inside. But so I was trying to, it's like that transition between seasons. I think autumn is my favourite season. Don't tell my child.
Love
it's called
autumn.
winter.
I love autumn.
For clothes.
I just think I know we said this a few podcasts ago, but it feels like the beginning of something new.
Yeah.
It's the proper new year. I just love.
Cozy as well.
Yeah.
It's cozy without being Baltic.
But
Do you
can
know
I
what
just
it
say, my autumn winter wardrobe is my summer wardrobe with tights.
Yeah.
You probably saw me in this dress a few weeks ago. But
Tights and a trench coat.
do you know people who pack up their summer wardrobe and put it up into the attic or the roof space, whatever they call it,
Yeah.
and then they take down their winter? That could never be me.
Yeah, I
Like,
agree.
organised style queens.
That's me.
I
Love
agree.
that for them.
Diction
But I'm
to wear
rocking the
clothes.
same coat all year.
I agree with that one.
You know?
No, but
Fair
I'll-
play to people that do. The only thing that
Absolutely.
would maybe I'd put into a suitcase is bikinis.
Yeah.
Do you know that would be about it? But I totally agree that mine I just add layers to what I already.
Or full
wear.
holiday dresses though, because I have
Aye.
holiday dresses I would never wear.
Yes.
Not on holiday.
Different category.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is the thing, because we're going on holidays in a few weeks' time, and I need to put away all the kids' summer stuff because I have to put them out of sight for kids, because Winter will just wear her wee denim hot pants every day, or her she's standing today in the pissing rain wearing a floral cutout dress, and I'm like, and Crocs, and I'm all, it's pissing down outside, and she's on her bike outside in this wee floral dress. You're stop it. So I have to get them out of her line of vision.
Fair.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna smartly pack them for holidays instead of putting them away. Put them into the suitcase now, and then bring in.
Just bring the suitcase up.
That's what I love about the change of season too, because your kids do need a full new wardrobe because they get bigger, because they can't wear their summer clothes from last year or their autumn clothes from last year. So you get to go and buy them new clothes, and I get more a buzz out of buying the kids' clothes than I do mine.
Yeah.
Because they're cute.
I mean,
They're
I
so
don't have
much
kids.
cuter.
See, whenever my friends have babies, I love picking their wee outfits.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. And I'm not remotely broody at all. I'm not thinking oh, I'd love this for me. I'm just like, how many outfits can I reasonably buy my friend's child without looking like I'm trying to dictate their style?
Yeah.
I love it. All the wee little booties and stuff.
I know,
Yeah.
and I love a big oversized jumper on wee kids with wee leggings.
Wee
Oh,
flares.
it is the best. Although, can I tell you, even though I absolutely love autumn, right? I'm so triggered by autumn from pregnancy sickness.
Okay.
So I was so sick in both autumn times with like both of my pregnancies, to the extent like the first time I was pregnant with Winter, we were buying a house. Have I told you about this? We were buying a house now.
Don't think so.
And I had gotten knee deep and obsessed with the DIY and the renovation stuff, all the stuff that you're doing now, Shannon, but in the planning stages of it. And all my Instagram algorithm was like before and after bathrooms and DIY stuff and all IKEA hacks and all those things. And I had like loads of plans drawn out. Like when you're a child and you're drawn out what all the rooms are going to look like. And I was so sick. We ended up pulling out of buying the house because I was so sick. I was like, I actually can't do all this. It's too much. I'm so sick. I'm like bedridden sick. And now, if I see DIY stuff before and after of a fucking bathroom on Instagram, I'll want to hurl. Just looking at any photographs of somebody doing up their house, Shannon, I can't even look at your stuff at the minute online because I'm so triggered by it. I want to throw up when I see you do paneling. It makes me so ill.
At least you know it's nothing personal.
I kind of get it though.
I was wondering where that extra
connection.
view went.
Yeah.
But you have a literal like a physical connection to you being sick with like the DIY stuff.
Yeah.
Like in your brain. That's actually mad.
All of the stuff. And because it was in that time of year too, where it was like burnt orange and like all this stuff that's like autumnal, even that colour scheme makes me want to hurl, even though it's my favourite.
You've just
Painted my
just
kitchen
paint your
orange.
kitchen
Exposure therapy.
Ah.
No, but also it's my favourite colour scheme. Is autumnal, but I'm so conflicted inside because it makes me want to bug, but I know it's the nicest to look at. It's such a hard time to be me, guys, in the autumn.
God love you.
And especially I buzz off Halloween. We all do. We spoke about how much we all love Halloween in the last episode. And like our Halloween Sunday socials coming up. Derry is like the European capital
of Halloween.
And
They
it's like
love it.
it's in our blood. We are all the patron saints of Halloween in Derry. And that time of year makes me go "Ugh." Like I swear Sean was told to me recently, you're gonna have to go and get like some sort of hypnotize or
That's
something.
a Patreon episode getting doing a hypnotize.
Yeah.
To get rid of that.
Before you get rid of her phobia, make her bark like a dog.
I did have that though. Well, it's not the same thing, but I had my tonsils out when I was 19, right? Traumatizing, actually near died on the table, but anyway. The night before I went for the surgery, I had a Five Guys for the first time ever, and then I didn't eat for like 3.5 weeks, so that was the last thing I ate, and the whole way through my recovery all I could taste was Five Guys.
No way.
I'm not even joking, the whole entire time. So every time I see Five Guys, and the recovery was so bad because I have no luck with fucking surgeries, but every time I like see Five Guys, I'm like, oh, like it actually makes me want to be sick, like the actual. No.
But it's the way like a perfume would trigger you to a memory of something that would be nice or maybe not. Do you know what I mean?
It's
I
like me
can't eat
whenever I talk
soft
about
mints.
speaking about renovation, navy, and people, I had to put a thing out and say I actually really love the colour navy. I love navy clothes. Navy interiors brings me back, and I'll actually tell you. So just say this is like a wee sneaky thing. I'd never want to say it online, and this can't be a clip, by the way. An old job I had as an estate agent. My old boss used to renovate houses. He was very, very bad. Very, very bad to me. Just very, very bad in general. I have a lot of trauma around that job. And he renovated every single kitchen he done. Navy. And
No
copper.
way.
And that's why when I see navy interiors, it's not me dissing it or like slabbering about it. It's me being like, oh my goodness, that brings me back to being in that job, and it makes me feel uncomfortable. So that's why whenever I was like rapidly painting my front door and back door, and everyone was like, why are you painting your door when you don't even have floors down? I had to get rid of the kitchen island it sits in the back garden now. Gone, can't look at navy. The doors are all sitting away, so I don't have to look at them. So it's not me just being like, oh my god, I hate the colour navy. It brings me
It's
back
actually
to
like a
something.
psychological thing.
See, there we go. It is a thing. I wonder, I bet you everyone's like, I bet you everybody. Comment under this, by the way, on what your trigger is. If it's something that makes you go, I can't even look at that or think about that. Because everyone must have it then.
Oh, I think everyone does.
I'm laughing because like yours is related to pregnancy and yours is surgery and yours is a traumatic job. I can't eat soft mints because one time I had a packet of them on the plane and then I booked. So I don't think it was the soft mints that made me book, but I remember seeing the whole mint in the book.
Oh God!
Never touched one since. You know, we've all got trauma, guys. I'm in therapy for it. I'll be all right one of these days.
But I was like apple juice with me because again I drank it in the gallon when I was pregnant, and then for ages afterwards for both pregnancies I couldn't look at apple juice, but now I do love an apple juice.
You're partial to a wee apple juice.
I've come around.
I don't know if we've asked you before. Did you have? I think maybe have. Did you have weird cravings?
I drank a lot of apple juice. But I didn't have anything. I like yogurts and stuff like that there, but then nothing that was wild, and not because people eat coal and all, which is an iron deficiency. and ice cubes and people, but I didn't
Fire
have any.
lighters.
I didn't have anything weird.
My mum was obsessed with fire lighters. She just wanted to eat them.
So many pregnant women want to eat coal, ice, and fire lighters, and it is
Iron
deficiency.
Yeah.
So weird. Your body wants to eat.
Metal.
Yeah,
Whoa.
things
Don't
that
do
have
that.
metal.
Anyone
isn't it?
listening, don't be at it.
I know.
Take your iron supplements.
See,
pregnant
last
ladies.
week we were talking about, like, do you always have thoughts in your head? Do you have a voice in your
Yeah.
head? Do you have an earworm? Do you guys get hyperfixations with meals? Like, where you'll
Yes.
eat the same thing?
Yes. Yeah.
So I have eaten ham and cheese ravioli for my dinner every night for, I say, going on 8 weeks.
Yeah.
So
And
like,
then you'll
apart from
not
on the
look at it
weekend,
for a
so
while.
on the weekend, like, Ben will cook or we'll get a takeaway or whatever. But every single night at the minute, I'm eating the Spar Zone ham and cheese ravioli, maybe with a wee bit of grated cheese and extra ham. Like,
I
there's
pretty
no
much
nutrients
only
in there.
eat
Just beige.
hyperfixation foods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
I'll not
but
look
once I
at
get
it.
sick of it, I'll never eat that again. It
Ever.
was
For, like, another
salmon
year.
and cream cheese bagels before that, but I just get really obsessed
Yeah.
with the food.
The thing that I eat more than anything else, and I eat it for my dinner maybe 3 nights a week and have done for about 10 years, is a baked potato with a chicken curry.
Do you know that was
Oh.
baked
I
potato
know.
was my go-to weight loss meal?
Love a baked
Oh.
potato. Oh, it's a real Slimming World thing, a baked
Yeah,
potato.
but it's just, I love a baked
I
potato.
just loved them because all you need to do, I'm not a cook, I don't like cooking, it bores the tits of
Microwave
me.
it.
So all I done was baked potatoes and used to just change the topping every day.
Yeah.
So you're getting a wee switch up, but you were still, the base was the same thing. And it's
Yeah.
a substantial meal. Do you know, you guys already know that we are huge fans of iconic brands around here. Our Olivia recently had her own bundle out with them and everyone went mental for it. It's one of them brands that just get it whenever it comes to getting that flawless glow.
We love it. And they also just released their own skincare range, which is unbelievable. It is so hydrating. It leaves your skin so well prepped for the week ahead, whether you're doing a fresh layer of tan, whether you're going out with the girls or having a makeup free day.
It feels luxurious without having that luxury price tag. It's affordable, it's accessible, and it's also an Irish brand, so it makes you feel extra good about picking that up.
And because you're part of our girls group chat gang, you can get 30% off everything at iconicbronze.ie using our code, which is girlsgroupchat30. Stock up on your favourites and you can glow all year round.
We are so excited that That Prize Guy is a proud sponsor of the Girls Group Chat podcast. If you haven't heard about That Prize Guy competitions, come out from under your rock.
The current competitions are 70k cash, 50k cash and 40k cash. They give these away almost every single day, and they give away cars such as Land Rover Defenders, Audis Q3 and the most unreal holiday destinations like Mexico.
And you can get in touch for like wedding favours and private event competitions. There's loads of instant win competitions on the website, so you literally enter, and if you like, you just, the money goes into your account there and then, which is obviously class. And you might even join loads of people who are now millionaires thanks to That Prize Guy.
Absolutely class. So go give yourself a chance to win. Head to thatprizeguy.co.uk and please remember to play responsibly. Keep it fun. I need a
Baked
whole packet of
potato
butter though.
with chicken curry, and it has to be the tasty foods. Is that what you call it? Chicken curry. Like,
yes.
that you make up yourself, and I make it super thick. I make it like 5 times thicker than it's supposed to be.
Okay.
That the average person would go, "That's disgusting. That's paste. You're eating paste."
Yeah.
But I have it like a couple nights a week, and I absolutely love it. So, but in my house, even like with my stepsons and all, it's always been everyone eats a different dinner, and I have to
Yeah.
cook 5 different dinners. Our house has never been like, we'll put a big batch of something out, and everyone eats from the
Nice.
same thing.
Do you do school dinners for winter or do
No,
you do packed
packed
lunches? Okay, so like
yeah.
what's happening in a packed lunch these days?
They're
Back in my
awful.
day, I had like a ham sandwich and an apple. That was
Yeah.
the going rate in the
Well,
90s.
you're not allowed things in school now. Like, you're not allowed popcorn. You're not allowed. Obviously, you can't have
Choking
peanut
hazard.
butter and stuff as well. But there's like kiwis. There's lots of things you can't have that are like high allergy foods.
Okay.
Oh, right.
I mean, it's hard to do nutritious stuff. You see people online packing their kids' lunch boxes,
Oh,
and
aye.
it's like, oh, it's
Oh
a
my
hummus and
God.
pita and some cucumber sticks, and you're all,
Homemade
is your
sushi.
child an alien?
How does your kid eat that? Like
Imagine that child sat beside someone with a bag of Smarties being like, what the fuck have I done? A cucumber again. Or like, it's always like you have your sandwich or your wrap. I try and give my kids wraps more than sandwiches. So they have
Okay.
like a chicken and cheese wrap or something. And then a wee thing of like chopped blueberries and grapes. And that's the thing. Do you know what I was thinking the other day? Because you have to chop your grapes into quarters for kids.
For choking
don't
hazard.
choke.
Really?
Until they're like 10, you can't like you. And
Their
do you know
wee
how
throats are too small,
painstaking that is? Yeah, the
It's like the
grape
perfect
is
size.
the perfect
to-
size.
Yeah. get
So like
stuff.
my kids are like they don't even touch a full grape. If they see it, they know they're not even allowed to touch it. And blueberries as well. You can squish those with your finger or just cut them in half. But my kids are obsessed with fruit, and I make like 3 fruit salads a day, and it's for the kids. And see the amount of time in my day I spend cutting up grapes,
chopping.
Jesus, I got one of them a wee thing you get on Amazon, and you put the grape in and you like punch it, and it comes out in 4 bits, but it makes it squishy.
It would squish it.
It
for sure.
ruins
You
the
need
grape.
the sharpness of the knife.
And I was thinking about this the other day when I was cutting up Winter's grapes, and I was like, I wonder will there be a day where I'll miss cutting up the grapes?
Oh, yeah, I know.
You know, because it's so painstaking right now, but I'll be looking back going, jeez, remember we had to chop up their wee fruit?
Yeah.
I doubt it.
If you do miss it, you can just chop up some grapes.
Yeah, that is
Grapes
true.
won't cease to
Anything.
exist.
Yeah, and I'll just put Rapunzel on and be like, it's like old times.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember, you know, when you were like younger and you heard people like your ma or whatever talking, and they'd be like, "Jesus, the price of butter," and you'd be like, "See now, I literally said that sentence the other day. I was like, oh my god, here, price of butter these days.
Mental.
Like, I wish people prepared you for how old you get so quickly.
Yeah.
Like, you just turn into a ma one day.
I've
Well,
voiced
you're
note-
running your own house as well.
That's what I mean. You just wake up one day and you care about washing powder.
I've voiced note my friend Ruth at least once a week, being like, guess how much you just spent? Right, okay, I'll tell you what I bought. I got some butter, I got a Pepsi Max, and I got some Daz. Guess. And like,
Yeah,
I know how I
14 pound,
sound.
I know.
I know it's so boring. And also, if she did guess it, I'd be raging. Like,
Yeah.
she has to come back and say, oh, I don't know, about a pound. And I'm like,
70
"Fuck,
quid."
19.
I know.
Like, that's the worst kind of person who goes deliberately high whenever you say, guess how much a round of drinks was?
Aye.
And they go like 40 quid and you go, oh, it was only 16, but I
They
thought
shit
that
on
was
you.
mad.
Yeah.
You shit on your little,
Yeah.
like, it's obviously, I just want to have a wee rant.
Let me
Yeah.
have the reveal as well. I
Yeah.
want to reveal the big price.
If I say,
Yeah.
guess what? Don't guess.
Yeah.
And then
Asshole.
they're like, well, that's not even that bad. I paid
"Oh,
like 22.
that's about
And
right."
you're like, fuck up.
You're like, well, do you know
Alright.
what? Fuck you.
But everything.
Print money.
I love what you like didn't want to say fuck you there.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. With like, yeah, but it'll fucking be.
Everything is like, without sounding like an old woman now, everything is so fucking
disgusting. So expensive.
expensive.
Yeah.
Like, I
It's
cannot
disgusting.
tell you what I spend a month on groceries. It is way
Scary.
more than my mortgage.
It's rotten.
It's crazy.
It's bad when you go somewhere like London that's renowned for being expensive and it's just on a par with
Yeah.
what we
Yeah,
spend
it's a
here
sin.
now. Because I was at a festival in Leeds a few weeks ago and I was like, oh God, I wonder how much a pint is. And it was like £7. I thought they could have charged a lot more, to be fair. Because
Yeah.
Do you know what? Fair
not
play to you,
unlike-
that was pretty well priced.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
it genuinely
Yeah,
was.
it's
£8 for a
crazy.
G&T. I was like, oh, I'll have 10. You know?
yeah.
Get
I
them
think
in.
even taxi prices and all have went up recently.
Mad.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm drunk and I want to tip them. Like, it's like £9
Yeah.
to get home from my house in the city centre. I'm like, maybe
But
20.
I always remember when I was younger, like not even younger, but you know, when I was going out more often, you were maybe talking £10-15 from Dundonald to town. I haven't had anything cheaper than 25 to get to town. I'm
know.
going, what?
£50 from my house to Belfast International Airport a few weeks ago.
That's
Yeah.
Isn't
Well, do you want
that
to hear what-
insane?
I was
I
buzzing
live
over this.
closer than you do to Belfast International Airport, and I got charged £90 about 6
quid?
months ago. Yep.
Bank holiday.
Now,
But also, if you need to get to the airport, you need to get there.
Yeah.
They can charge you whatever they want.
exactly. But I was like, that is an absolute disgrace.
Mental.
Like, I meant, and it was only because I had. Oh, it was a whole thing. I left my car in the wrong airport. I had to get a taxi home. But don't even. It was just.
Oh my god. Fucking
I
hell.
went to city, flew out of city, brought my car there, and then was flying back into international. And it was because I missed my flight in London. I had to book another flight back, so I had to get a taxi home. Anyway, girls, we live and learn.
We do.
But it's
Strokers.
expensive. I know.
Do we learn though?
But here, as you were saying, like, so Winter started P1 this month, obviously. And as you were talking about her pack lunches and stuff, she hasn't gotten to the stage where she's got a pack lunch in school yet because they increment you on that slowly. By the time you actually stay on a full day, it's about 3 months later.
It's half term.
It's half term, and you're like, oh, great, now they're off for a week.
No.
Oh, she was devastated. She was devastated going into school. She
Ah.
really, really cried her eyes out going in. Even though her wee best friend was there, I had to peel her off me, hand her to a teacher, and Sean was looking at me going, we just need to walk out of here because she has to be here. Now, later on that day, she came out laughing. We know I had the best time ever. She was like, we did our handprints and paint, and I've done you a picture, and she had a great time. But it's like, I don't know, like, I know in primary school it's fun, and in P1 it is fun, but do you not just think it can get, like, so boring, like being in school? Do you know what I mean? Like,
I think you're
it's
going to say
so
something
shit.
like really, really sweet and thoughtful. You're like, so boring.
No, it just gets, like, I don't know anyone who enjoys going to school.
Do you know what I would fear as a parent? Not, I mean, if I was a parent, the kid hitting about P4, P5 and being like, oh, mommy, can you help me with long division? I'd be like, nope. Absolutely.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
none of that. I couldn't do algebra.
No.
I couldn't do long multiplication. Absolutely not.
Need
I'd
to
be
get a
absolutely
tutor in and be like,
Yeah.
can you help?
Can I tell you
Chat.
what Sean done for Winter when she was, because she was so anxious about getting into school? He set this whole thing up for her. So whenever she came back from, whenever we dropped her in, she was crying. She was so upset. She didn't want to go in. So he went and sorted all this out. And we came back from school. He'd put like a wee pink lunchbox on the front step. and filled it with sweeties and printed out a picture of a wee blonde superhero with a W on the front of it and stuck it on and put a letter inside from Santa. And the letter said, "These are brave tablets. And anytime you feel like you're not brave or you don't have the courage to try something, take one of your brave tablets, take a big deep breath and go for it, and it'll be okay. And Santa's watching and Santa will make sure you feel okay. And I'm very proud of you for trying and going into school and all the rest of it." And I was like, I have married a keeper.
That
Like,
is
isn't
so
that
cute.
That is so cute.
so gorgeous? And when she seen it, she seen the W on the front and she was like,
Cute.
"Oh, W, that's a winter superhero." And then the fact that it came from Santa, now it's funny because she spent all weekend then being all, "I feel very, very nervous." And we were like, "All right." She just wants a wine gum. Do you know? She was like, "I feel so," and it's so funny because instead of saying nervous, she says jealous. She gets mixed up and she comes in and she goes, "Mummy, I'm jealous."
Oh, but that's so sweet.
Isn't it lovely?
Aw.
And she has it now that's sitting in the cupboard. So whenever, no doubt now every morning before school, she'll have to
Yeah.
have a sweet. But like anything that gets around,
A
Gets
wee
her in.
sweetie does no harm if it gives her
a wee bit of courage.
Yeah, I feel like I
placebo
need them.
courage.
Yeah.
My wee nieces were over for dinner the other week. They're going into they've just started second year and fourth year. And I was asking the wee one who's gone into fourth year what subject she's doing for GCSE. All new subjects these days.
Yes,
Like we had the
really?
bare basics, your double word science, maths, English, a language. I think I got to do moving image arts, and I think I was maybe the first year that was like really progressive for our school.
Yeah.
She's doing all sorts of like
travel
interesting
and
new-
tourism and all too.
travel and tourism,
Yeah.
like childcare, social.
To be fair, I done, and you would have been at that age. I done childcare.
Did you?
Journalism. I done
Oh,
journalism
okay.
GCSE.
We didn't know that.
Wow.
Yeah, my school was quite progressive that way. We had loads of wee funky ones.
I think
That's
it's great,
Yeah.
because
Great.
It's great.
you know, it opens up doors into things or lets them have an interest.
It gives
this
options
could
for-
potentially
it
be
gives-
a career.
It gives options for people who are maybe more creatively talented,
Yeah. Yeah.
as in, you know, they maybe aren't good at the generic school subjects.
Yeah.
And then I think we've said this before, can sometimes make children, teenagers feel a bit shit about themselves,
Yeah.
where it gives them the option to excel in something they actually have an interest
Yeah.
in. I think it's
I think
fab.
especially because the world around us has changed so much as what regards like the amount of jobs that are available in
Oh,
different
yeah.
fields
Yeah.
that kids are now going, "Oh, I could do that, but
Yeah.
how do I even get a pathway into that if I haven't an opportunity to do journalism in school?" Or I think one of the boys for GCSE was doing like a filmmaking course as well, where they were like
Oh.
all scripting and making wee mini movies with their mates and
Class.
stuff. Like, and that's unbelievable.
Did you have learning LLW?
Yeah.
No,
So I
but
remember
the boys had it.
thinking
I
when
would
you had GCSE, you had to do like LLW learning
You could
for
do
life and
short
work.
form or long
Right.
form and all this.
I've
here.
never heard of this.
So this was
Educate
like
me.
we did it as like an extra GCSE, but you learned nothing about
Nothing.
life and work. It was about the maddest random
I was
shit
thinking
ever.
about this too.
I
I
was
was
thinking
actually
about
trying
this
to
the other
think
day.
back to what we learned how to do a CV, bare
Yeah.
basics though, like nothing.
Yeah, so I.
But what else? I can't remember.
'Cause I was chatting to somebody the other day and they were talking about they really want to go self-employed but they're too scared, and it made me think about learning in school. Like we learned how to apply for jobs, how to do a great interview. Not fucking me, I wasn't listening obviously. Do your CV, do this, but nobody ever tells you how to set up your own business.
Never. No,
Yeah.
No one tells you
Even
how to set up a company.
There was talk of business studies, and I think you maybe learnt about that being a career, as
Yeah.
in you can open your own business.
I-
But there
yeah.
was no.
What's the logistics?
there was no,
No.
logistics. There was no explanation about what that actually meant.
I did business studies to A level and I loved doing. It was one of my favorite subjects. But we learned fuck all about doing your own business. We learned about like I don't know like
The
PwC
the
or like
terms.
massive companies that had and like globalization and stuff. You didn't learn about when you're self-employed, like how do you do your taxes? How did like whenever I was setting up my company, not my company, my business, I was just like, who do you go to?
I know.
What do you do? No,
mental.
you don't get taught these things. You don't get taught about like you actually have to pay taxes. Like I chat to so many people and I'm like, oh, what about HMRC? And they're like, what about it?
I know.
Mad. Because I think in
Yeah.
school,
You
whenever you
know.
hear things like going self-employed or establishing a business, you think of I'm going to open a shop or
Yeah,
that's someone who
yeah,
owns a
yeah.
restaurant or something. But all of us are self-employed. Like we
Self-employed.
are kind of a business.
Yeah.
and it's
And
very
it's-
common now.
Yeah, but it's so hard to learn it all.
Yeah.
I'm still learning, I swear to God.
Every day.
See, the school system was set up during the Industrial Revolution, and it was formed, and it really hasn't changed that much since, to produce lots of people who would become great factory workers, who would be compliant, who weren't looking to start up their own companies, who weren't looking to be their own bosses, who were able to go in and accept discipline and be able to follow instructions and do what they needed to do as factory workers when they would then leave school. And that has not changed. That same formula is in place when you come in. Everything's very uniformed, like literally, and everything is like everyone learns the exact same things and are taught them in the exact same way, even though the classroom's full of neurodiversity, and that's not taken into account. And therefore some people feel like they're incapable of that, but actually they're so good at something else, or actually if maybe they were taught that thing in a different way, they'd be great at it. And that is one of the key reasons why Sean is obsessed with possibly home educating our kids, and it's something he's really passionate about.
He says all the time when we have kids, I'm like, well, if you win the prize, guy, we'll think about it.
Sean's in shout out. Sean's in loads of like home educating groups online. He's upset every day. He's like trying to convince me, and I'm not totally against it, but I'm not totally for it now. I need to do more research into it, to be honest, for myself. But he thinks that our kids would thrive, any child would thrive in a home educating situation. But then you get people who are like, well, how will they learn how to do this, this and this? And actually there's lots of things that you learn in school that you forget 3 months later and you never had to use again in your life.
100%.
All of my A-levels.
Why they're still learning that?
Fucking
The
hell.
mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
But I know
I
it's
do
a thing.
think, though, learning for life and work, the name of that as a subject could be incredible if it was actually right. So like things like credit cards is a good example, and credit. So like whenever I turned 18, which I think is mental when I look back, I've spoke about this online. I was, whoa, hello microphone on my titties.
Want to learn something really sensible? A microphone on my titties.
Whenever I was 18, Ulster Bank contacted me. Congrats, you're 18. Do you want a credit card?
Yeah.
Do you want $5,000?
Stop it.
No one ever taught. I was never taught. It probably said it in the small print, but who reads that? I just assumed this was like free money, and as long as I made, you hear people talk about it in movies, so as long as I made the monthly repayment, so basically I spent $5,000, I would have paid off the minimum payment of say 50 quid a month, re-spent it, paid 50 quid a month, and I'd never missed a payment. So in my head I was like, this is all good. This was just like free money for me to go out when I was 18, and didn't realise until I was older, whenever I looked into my credit score, about you can only be in, it has to be less than 50% of your credit for 50% of the year for it to affect you beneficially and all this here. Only learned that, and I'm like, why the fuck do you not learn that?
Exactly.
Like that, mortgages,
I got one
paying
when-
taxes.
I got
stuff.
one when I was 18 too, exact same way. Ulster Bank.
Ulster Bank.
Just contacted, but they were like, I got sent one when I was a student, and it was like, Christmas is around the corner. I'd literally just become a student, and it was like, Christmas around the corner. Do you want, I think it was only £300. It was like early boosters, so you can go out and get your Christmas presents. And of course I did. And I ended up 10 years later being in so much debt, because I was used to getting things on credit cards, and then I wouldn't really like, I've always been like, well, whatever happens, and then I realised like about 10 years ago now is all I need to sort
It's
that
whenever
out.
you go, like it was for me whenever I started thinking about, I could maybe buy a house, and then it came up my credit score, this is only a couple of years ago, and I was like, I never missed any payments, and they were like, yeah, but you were in your credit to the max for mostly, and I was like, and what? You don't know these things. And same mortgages.
I still don't.
I still
no idea
don't.
about credit cards.
It's crazy.
And all in that sense though too, in school, do you know what, because if they taught you more about money, do you not think money is an embarrassing thing to talk about?
Yeah.
Oh, I.
The embarrassment around money.
You shouldn't.
The shame
People
nearly
are like,
as well.
so many situations I've been in, and I've been too embarrassed to be like, well, we split this, like even friends in a
totally,
taxi,
yeah.
and you just go, I'll pay for it, and you don't have the money to pay for it, but you're like, I'll just pay for it, because you're just like, one of us should pay for the whole thing, instead of everyone just going, what did you, do you want to just pay for your bit and I'll pay for my bit, because it's too embarrassing.
It's like a social, like, societal thing. It's like, oh, well, if you say you want to split it, does
that mean you don't have that much money?
But like, what's wrong with that? Like, maybe I don't want to pay for every single
Money
person at the table.
education would change that though.
Yeah.
Money education would really, really help in school.
They should in school be like, when you become adults, everyone pays for their own shit and nobody else's. Pay for your own shit, nobody else's. That's the rule, or else you go to jail.
Financial responsibility.
Yes. I knew nothing about money and finance, stuff like that. Even I remember seeing like a BMW was £60,000. I was like, how does anyone ever save up £60,000 to buy a car? Like, I thought everything you had to buy it outright. I had no idea about deposits and finance and things like that. I still don't. I wouldn't have a clue how to go and buy a car.
Different types of
barely
loans
know
and-
what our mortgage is because Ben sorted it.
To this day, when I see credit cards, the letters that come after thank God, and I'll never touch a credit card again. I managed to get myself out of debt. But when I still see all the percentages and APR and all this shit, I'm going, variable, blah, blah. Still don't know what that means. And you know, what if you were learned these things in school, it would be basic knowledge that you have, that you can go up and make more financially responsible decisions.
And even like investments too, like if you had a bit of extra money, like what are you supposed to invest in that's ethical, and what are you supposed to invest in that's like going to be beneficial? Like I listened to an episode of Diary with CEO, and he had a financial expert on, and she was saying about the S&P 500 and like to like invest in them, like the biggest companies in the world or whatever. But he was saying the biggest profit he ever made from an investment, this is Stephen Bartlett, was when he forgot the password to get into the account. Because what people normally do, typical behaviour, is that when your investment, say you put £100 into something and it goes up to like £120, £150, you're like, class, take it out before it goes down, you've made 50 quid. Or if it goes down and you lost a tenner, you're going, oh, take it out before I lose even more money. But if you left it over the course of like 10 years, your £100 could become £5,000.
And it might dip as well, but it'll eventually go up.
Trust the
came in.
process.
And he was like, the people who make the most amount of money in investments are the people who have died. Because they don't, no one has cleared out their account.
And they're just sitting there.
20 years have passed and their money has gone through the roof. And he was like, so you have to die or forget your password.
Crypto, people that done early investments in crypto, obviously it went crazy. And there's loads of crypto out there that no one has remembered their password for.
That's right.
Loads out there.
Do you remember that guy?
Yeah.
The hard drive, he stopped searching for it. Did you see that?
It was millions, wasn't it?
It was like 8 billion or something mental like that. Like, it's crazy. Maybe it was 8 million, but I actually think it was more like in the billions amount of crypto or whatever it's called. I don't even know about
I
any
don't know
of that
any of that.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily think that should be taught in school either, because in a way sometimes I do think them things are like a bank version of gambling.
Aye.
Are they? We don't know it.
But we don't know.
I don't know, but wouldn't really say it's an essential to be taught compared to mortgages and stuff like that.
Just even on the topic of money, having a class in how to communicate as an adult, like how to say to your friend,
I was just thinking that.
Here, like we've had different things at dinner, if you're that sort of person who wants to split it differently, or asking your roommate for the rent or whatever, or how to phrase an email. I'm bonkers in emails. I'd be like, hi, how are you, exclamation mark, because I need everyone to know I'm nice. And I'm like, so sorry, it's taken me so long to get back to you, and it's been like an hour. Like I am so overly apologetic, so mental with fucking exclamation marks. Everyone's probably like, she okay? I need like a wee class and how to speak like an adult.
I think that I don't spell check either, because it's really bores me. I hate reading over my own work, if anything I write, including an email or a text, which is why nothing is spelled right. My best friend, I'll send her a message, and then if I look back to see if she, and I'm all, whoa, what did I write? And she's like, I always have to decipher your messages. I know what you mean, but there is everything spelled wrong all the time. And if Sean and I are working with a company together writing something and I've sent the email, I'll just get a text from Sean with a GIF just being like, because I've obviously sent loads of wrong stuff. Even today we were dealing with a client and they wrote back to me going, hey Fiona, and I was all, why'd they call me Fiona? And then I looked, I signed myself off as Fiona.
They're like, geez, I've been calling her Diona.
I do think in learning life from work, that was maybe something we learned about letter writing, and there's something jogging my memory about how an email should be laid out. I don't think it was as deep as like conversational what you should be saying, but I do briefly remember the way things should be laid out and the way a letter should be laid out.
But they just touch the surface.
But that's touching the surface. That's what I mean. We need
to get deep. Like, tell me what I'm meant to do whenever someone owes me money and I feel too awkward to ask them for it.
Yeah,
that's the class I need.
It's wild.
Some assertiveness training or something like that.
The biggest thing that I was absolutely shocked about when I was an adult, that I learned when I started doing IVF, was that you can only get pregnant for 1 day a month.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What? Wait, who was you learning this now?
Are you joking?
Jordan? An egg, once it's released, only lives for 12 to 24 hours in your body, and only during that time can it be fertilized. Now, sometimes the sperm can hang around for up to 6 days, and there can be a freak pregnancy in that window, but generally the egg is alive for 12 to 24 hours, and you can only get pregnant on that 1 day a month.
So
isn't it mad?
To be fair, if you have a one night stand and you get pregnant from it,
it's very unlucky. Very unlucky.
But that happens.
Very unlucky.
Yes. I was talking to my friend the other day about this, and she only found out recently about this. And who was I speaking to? I can't even remember. But this is, where was I?
This is mad.
We were having this exact conversation. You have to be so unlucky to accidentally get pregnant, because it's actually a really, really difficult thing to do. Even if you don't have struggles to get pregnant, it's actually still really difficult
but
basically
I went
have
to
to
a
ride
Catholic-
every day.
In my Catholic school, we were taught if you are in snuffing distance of a sperm, you'll get
Yes.
pregnant. If you sit in a
Yeah.
toilet seat that some fella,
Aye.
you will get pregnant.
Yep.
If you're even in the same 3-mile radius of a horny boy, you'll get
Macozy
pregnant.
in the hot tub and Big Brother.
Macozy in the hot tub and Big Brother, you will get pregnant. Whereas actually not. It's so difficult.
I wonder. I really don't know this information, so I'm wondering if anyone can tell us. That'd be great. But like, if they've changed the phrasing around sexual education in schools, because it used to be, ours was the same. It was like, if you know, all of the teaching was about not getting pregnant.
Yeah.
Like
it
in
was
the Mean Girls
don't
thing,
do it,
it's like, don't have
literally,
sex or you will die.
It doesn't tell you about your periods. It doesn't tell you about PCOS. It doesn't tell you why you're not getting pregnant. It doesn't tell you what you should do. It doesn't tell you about your mental state when you're on your period. Like, none of that is talked about.
No.
I remember them telling you, like, what to do, how to take your tampon out of the fucking toilet into the bin. Like, I remember that being a full conversation and people all being like, okay, I'll do that.
I even
You know,
remember them
like-
not explaining, like when they were saying about putting a tampon in, I was like, but where? Like,
I know.
when you're that, I was like, what do you mean? Put it in where?
I know.
Like, do you know what I mean? Because you're that young. I actually went to extra classes. I actually done a talk with them in Ballybean recently. It's like young women and men classes. I think you go when you're about first, second year. And my mum sent me like on a Tuesday evening, and it was extra classes about sexual health, and they were fab, but that wasn't run by the school. That was like the women's centre in Ballybean.
Yeah.
And they showed you a bit more in depth. But basically, when you were in school, they were like, right, here's the basics. If you want to know more, go to PEP, Personal Education Programme or something like that it was called. And they were brilliant. They did talk about
I need to
likes
go.
of endometriosis,
I know.
about
Being on the pill.
Well,
how to
like
put a
I've just
condom
learned that
on
about
and-
pregnancy. I
Yeah.
still am completely uneducated in endo. Like any small bit of info I have came from you. I'm learning on TikTok currently,
Aye.
like why I literally feel in the absolute pits right before it's my time of the month.
Yep.
Like
Like it's the phases, the phase, was it the luteal?
Luteal phase.
And all those.
I know the buzzword, but I don't know what I'm saying.
Any of it
Yeah.
means. There's a book called Period Power, and it talks about like there's 1 week of the month, and again I don't even know when it is either, that you are at your like superhero week. You get shit done, you plan all the things, you get loads of work done, you feel positive, and you're the one organising in the group chat the nights out and everything else. And then it gets to another week and you're cancel all the things that you planned on that week, you know. But we should be taught in schools, like you're saying, how to handle those weeks, and also plan your social calendar and your work calendar around
But also,
those phases.
like working, like we're expected to go to work every single day and be productive every single day when our energy levels and our brain activity is not the same every single day. Do you know what I mean? Like
we're
you're not
actually
taught
built for it.
You're not taught any of that stuff, and I didn't even know about it. Like I didn't know that you know, you're told about it in a biological sense. You're not told about it as an adult
real life.
living life.
And I think understanding your body makes it easier to like process it. So like if you're just, because I can pinpoint in different times of my cycle whenever I feel like shitter within my body, and I'm the exact same weight. I am not actually even probably bloated, but I look in the mirror and go, Jesus, you're looking rough. But the week before I could be like, I can't
look
even
great.
imagine feeling shit about myself. I'm
Yeah.
looking
Yes.
gorgeous. But because I now know that whenever I feel shit, I'm like, oh yeah, it's because it's that time of my month, it's that stage of my cycle. It's easier to process because you're like, I love myself again next week.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever
When
you
you
can't
don't know
pinpoint
that,
it, I
it's a
always
lot
text my best
harder.
friend and be like, I really hope my period's coming tomorrow because I literally like want to jump out the window. And then the next day I'm like, oh, here, I'm actually all right. I'm okay.
I wish I was better at tracking it all down. I used to track your
I used to do
Mine's is all over
flow.
the place.
Now I just let it go.
because I the one thing I have noticed is I always want to cry on the day before for very little, for nothing. Like I'll cry to TV ad and all, and then I'll be like, oh, I think my period's coming tomorrow, and then it normally does, and that's the only like thing I've learned that's like every single month, but I have not learned anything else.
See, now you've said that, I am going to make a conscious decision as of today. It is the 1st of September.
Yeah.
I am going to start using that app. Isn't it Flow, you
Flow.
call it?
It is pretty
and
good.
start tracking everything again and seeing if I can detect
Patterns.
exact, because I just know roughly, oh, it's this week. Exact patterns, and then see if I can get myself out of a mood by being like, Flow says this is
get into
normal.
the flow.
It actually validates how you're feeling.
Yeah.
I would
Gonna
really
start
like to
doing
know if anybody knows the answer to this, let me know. But I haven't had a period since November 2021. So, but my body obviously still goes through, like there's weeks where I'm not
hormones.
feeling great or I get cramps and stuff, but nothing happens.
Yeah.
So I can't track anything. But I would love to know if there's like an app that you could do that.
Here,
Still
if
love
there's
stuff.
not, invent it
Yeah,
for all the endo girls.
right now for
That's a
like,
great
because I'm
idea.
wondering if like post-menopausal women get that too.
Yeah.
Do you know if that's like a
so.
thing? Because it's so weird when you feel like shit, but you can't. I don't have anything to go by.
You can't go, my period was 18 days ago, so
No.
I'm in this phase. Yeah, so you don't know.
I'm just floating around.
But it
with
would be
zero
nice to
thoughts.
be able to record and see if there is
Yeah, to
some
see
sort of pattern
if there is a
somewhere,
pattern.
or yeah.
Because it's
Like,
obviously you still have hormones. Like,
Women's health is so intricate, and we're taught next to fuck all about it,
No.
other than to be embarrassed about it when we're at school.
But I
literally.
wish men were taught it as well.
Exactly.
So as you couldn't get the almost for your time of the month, sort
Yeah.
of like it's
Yeah.
outside of the month comment, outside the mouth rather. I'm like, if you had to go through a pinch of what we went through.
I know,
Yeah.
and I probably actually owe it to Winter to learn more about it, so I can teach her
Yeah.
Right.
when she's young, because the school isn't going to do it.
And the
No.
school also leave it very late. I remember being broke up in school from boys and girls for short. This was primary
Aye, we
school,
did that
but
too.
even that was P7. That's where we like touched on it. And it was like, if you want more, go to the after school thing.
Yeah,
But my youngest sister, won't mind me saying this, Madison, took her period very, very young, and hadn't a fucking clue what it was. And like, yeah, well, yeah, she would. Like, I think I was like second year. I was like, oh, here we are.
Yeah.
Where she was very young. Now, my mum had picked up on the fact she was maybe getting a bit of hair very young and stuff. So she had kind of hinted things at her. Like, if something happens to you and there's, you know, something in your pant, you come to mummy and we'll talk about it. But she was very young, and my mum was kind of like, this needs to be
I know.
spoke about earlier in school. It doesn't need to be graphic. It
Yeah.
doesn't. It can be kept scientific.
and but that's it. It's like, why? Yeah, it's not sexual. So why are they why they talk when they're not talking about it? Even the whole, we've all done it. You left a tampon out of your bag. You slide it up your sleeve.
Oh, yeah.
and you walk to the bathroom because you. Like,
I still do that now.
You don't. I do that now,
know.
and
I don't.
I really try not. But there's very few people that don't, because you're like, oh, a man will see a tampon and know I'm on my period. What is this? The fucking 1920s?
Mental.
Like it should be as normalized as handing someone a charger.
Yeah.
Or you know, a pen. You should be able to just like hold the thing and walk to the bathroom, and who cares if they know that you're on your period? But it's something that we've been made to feel like it's almost dirty
Yeah.
and degrading. They'll know I'm dirty down there. If
There's
I
loads of things like that. When I used to work in the chemist, you used to get women coming in and whispering things over the counter. And I'd been like, love, me too. Like, thrush was always a big one.
Yeah.
And to be fair, a lady taught me one time, again, something that should be maybe taught in school. She came in, she was like, look, I need to get the thrush tablet. And I was like, don't worry, I had it last week too. It's fine. It's just a bit of thrush, it's fine. And she was like, do you know what it is? It's every time I take an antibiotic.
Aye.
You know, it messes with my pH. And I went, that's me. And I went back, because obviously I can check my medication history on the work whenever I was working the chemist on the computers, and I was able to go,
Oh my God,
antibiotic,
yeah. It lines
thrush
up.
tablet,
my
antibiotic,
God.
thrush tablet, and that's what some people's a swimming pool, some people's
Yeah,
this, but
that's
there
the
are
trigger.
things that should be taught in school too, because I mean the shame that used to be in women's faces for something so normal
Yeah.
and so not embarrassing.
Yeah.
Do you know? But then I worked in it, so it's not embarrassing to me. I'd be like shouting across the counter, like, any thrush tablets?
Do you know what I remember? Was the first time I ever asked a lady in a public bathroom for a tampon or a pad, and I was maybe like 19. I wasn't a young girl, but I remember like saying it through gritted teeth, like, sort of like, I'm so sorry, like, would you have a pad or a tampon or something? And this lady was like a bit older. She's like, oh yes, honey, of course, no problem. She sorted me out. And I remember thinking like, wow, that was like really, really brave. And then a wee girl come up to us at the farmer's bash and asked the same. And I remember feeling like quite honoured that she had asked or something like that, where
You were
that
a
should
safe
actually
space.
be really, really normal.
That
Like,
it
you know,
is
it should be like
normal.
saying, here, excuse me, do you have a tissue or something?
And the worst part of that story was Jordan was like, yeah, actually,
I actually do. I was
hunted
buzzing.
her bag
Aye.
for a good 3 minutes, which is quite a long time to look in a bag for, and was like,
I
actually
don't
think
have
I
one.
don't.
You've ruined that girl's day.
I know. I was like, so sorry. Could have been away and got another one.
She
by
didn't even
now.
need one.
So
She just wanted
sorry.
to come say hi to you. But do you know
Aye,
what?
just like a selfie with Shannon.
But you know, I think it's down to like our whole vulvas have been made out to be this like sacred place. Like it's like taking a woman's virginity or deflowering her, or like it's like nowhere near is like dicks are nowhere near as sacred. Like fellas just get them out, put them. But the whole vagina thing, vulva thing, it's like it's a whole like just like old school. I don't know. It's
Secrecy or something around
a weird whole thing about it, and it is the patriarchy. So anything to do with it is like, even the fact that it's not it's
Scandalous.
but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not even called a vagina. We all call it a vagina. It's a vulva. Do you know what I mean? Like that's people. It's even using the wrong words. Whereas Winter calls her. I say, you know, wipe your vulva if she's gone to the toilet. And I remember like somebody looking at me. I think it was like somebody in the family, and all, Why you say that, Jezol? Because that's what it's called. Why are we giving it weird names?
Why are you not allowed to say that?
I know
It's
it's
a
not a
fucking
dirty
body part.
word. I know I would say same as wipe your arsehole if you do shit.
It's better to use proper terms. I totally agree with that for private parts with kids.
Yeah,
there's
'cause they
too
can
many
communicate
stories.
to you,
yeah.
There's too many stories I've heard of people calling them like funny names and
Yeah,
then going into
it's
school and
not-
trying to tell a teacher something bad's happening at home
And
and
they
it
can't
not
communicate it.
being communicated right
Communicated.
because they're not. I 100% think that everything should be
Yeah.
called what it is
But
called.
here, do you know whenever I was about, I remember an episode of Friends was on whenever I was about 10. This is also a thing, like, you don't talk about your vagina or your vulva in front of your daddy, because like that's mad. Like they don't know we have one. And I remember watching an episode of Friends and Ross was selling his Volvo. And I remember turning to my daddy and going, "Daddy, what's a vulva?" And he went, "Oh, you may go up and ask your mum. I shop upstairs doing the ironing. Up and talk to her about the vulvas. What? Hey, Donna, she's got a wee question for you here."
You're top dead.
And I was like, "It's just a car."
Here, speaking of your mum being upstairs ironing, just to take it away from vulvas for a sec, not
Yeah.
because it's embarrassing to chat about, but just to
Yeah,
change
it's a vulva
gears.
heavy episode.
I can't do anything around the house. I can't iron. I can't sew a button on. I bought a steamer to try and make it easier for myself. I don't
Love
know how
a
that
steamer.
works. I can do nothing. And my mum said back in the day in home economics, she learnt that.
Yep,
Like,
sewing and everything.
see, to this
Yep.
day, it's so embarrassing. If I get like a tiny wee rip in something or a button pops off a coat, I have to drive to my mother's house
Yeah.
25 minutes away and be like, "Mum, will you
Jordan.
put this button back on for me, please?"
Could you not just guess how to do that? You're such a smart woman.
I am, and I can't. Honestly,
Wow.
I'm useless. And Ben irons everything for me.
But ironing is just like anybody could do an iron.
You could use hair straighteners.
You could do.
I've done that.
You just flatten the
I've
thing
used
over
an
the
iron
top
to
of the
straighten my hair.
garment.
I know, but you can put creases into it, or you might burn it, or like I don't know how to be doing a wash.
But
the steam
that
is great.
again, that is stuff I think in home economics, because I honestly look back at home economics and I think a lot of my teachers were just lazy, because they used to just be like, "You're going to make a starter today. You can decide what it is. Just bring in the ingredients and let's go."
Oh, yeah.
And I
What
was
was that?
left just sitting there going,
Stirring
"What
a cup of
the fuck do I do? Going for the best?" But that would be more useful. Yes, you learn your basic how to use an oven, temperatures, and food safety and all
Yeah.
that there. But home skills.
How to wire a plug? How
Is
to
there
change a
anything in the
tire?
house you are good at?
Sex,
Banging.
cracking jokes, singing.
Anything that's useful.
I'm the organisational one.
yes.
And I'm a great tidier and a declutterer.
Good for you. That's a good
That's
good
a very
thing to have.
important thing
Well
to
done,
have.
Jordan. That's
Thank you so
important.
much.
I
Thank you
wonder,
guys.
did they take it away? Obviously, like all of the sewing, the buttons and all that crack. Because I assume that they probably only taught the women that. But I wonder, did they take it away because it was seen as like maybe like sexist at a point?
Might be a
And
little
now
trad
it's like-
life or something like
Now
that.
it's like gone too far that it's like,
Aye.
wait, how the fuck do you turn?
No, there's
around
going to be
and
a whole generation dies out
still need those
in years
skills.
and years to come, and
Yeah.
know how to work
we'll
at
all
a
be
wash
left with
machine.
holes in our clothes. Going, I don't know what to do. I just need new clothes again.
What's one thing then you think they should be teaching? Oh, you wish you had learned in school. We'll finish up. One thing that you think, oh, that's what if I had learned that, I'd have been better off now. For me, it is the period thing. Knowing about when you were getting pregnant one day a month. If I'd have known that, I'd have done.
That's
I'd
mad.
have been shagging around.
Yeah,
I knew you were gonna.
Here, it's not too late.
yeah.
I'd have been way looser with a vulva
Yeah.
than I had been. I was holding that shit back.
I still obviously do. I spent a lot of my recent years thinking that I was like completely like so unnormal for not having a period, having been through menopause and stuff. And I just feel so strongly that young women and men should just be taught that whatever's going on in your body is your normal.
Yeah.
But you should go to the doctor. You should know what the signs are. You should know that if your periods are mental, you need to go and get it looked about. And it's not normal to feel like that every single month.
Love that.
And apply that to any health thing, really.
Any
health
Don't
thing.
be embarrassed to say like, oh, there's blood here or a rash
Yeah.
or whatever. Like, yeah.
Absolutely.
I am really guilty of like if something comes up and I'd be like, oh, I'll put that off and put that off and put
It'll be
that off.
alright.
Yeah.
But you really need to get your shit.
And I think our health system at the minute's a lot to blame for that.
Totally.
It's a
Oh,
lot
everyone
of
just
effort.
goes,
I just go,
Oh, I can't get an appointment.
I'm going to have to ring them 370 times and they're still going to ignore me. And then they're going to shout at me down the phone and tell me to clear off. And it's a really stressful experience phoning the doctor. So I'd rather just hope it's
And
okay.
even if you do, like, remember, well, I know we're going to wrap up soon now, but even like when I took that seashore on my holidays there, and when I was in with the GP, and she was like, if you had have been here and took it and went A&E, you'd have been in with in neurology that night getting brain scans done, because obviously you had bad head trauma. But because you didn't go to A&E here because you weren't in this country, you will be waiting on a list.
On a waiting
I could be
list.
waiting to next
Aye.
year to get a brain scan. Isn't that mad?
So
So like,
scary,
and like I was in with the GP there just getting a smear test done, and she was like, has anyone contacted you about, because the last time I was on with her, and I was like, no, and she was like, well, that's the
waiting
case.
list.
That's the way things are happening. So
My mum's getting her surgery, I think, next week in her foot. That's been a 4-year waiting list that she did go to A&E at the time for, but because it was COVID, they wouldn't do the surgery. But usually they would have done it that night. It was a broken foot that needed surgery, and 4 years, and they keep making her drive to, what do you call that place beside Derry? Limavady. Keep making her drive up to Limavady for appointments.
That's right. Remember you saying?
Insane.
She'll
But
not know
anyway,
herself when she gets it sorted.
I know.
I know she's off her feet for a couple of months when she's very nervous.
Can I tell you the dumbest story to wrap this topic up? Just to go back to like not knowing how finances work or anything about being an adult, and I'm still learning. I'm trying. Whenever I was 19, I moved into a wee apartment. It was my granny's apartment, and she had gone into a home, and I was just back from my gap year, and I'd had like a wee year of independence, and I was like, Mum, can I move into granny's apartment? She's like, oh sure, it's sitting there empty, go for it. And I don't think I was paying rent. Pretty sure like my granny owned it or whatever, but I was living on Easy Street.
Yeah.
My mum was only up the road, still bringing my washing to her. All I'd pay for was like pasta. That was really about it. And then after the first quarter that I lived there, my mum was like, oh, this is the not nice part of being an adult, but like, here's your electricity bill. And I was like, what? And she was like, it's the bill for the electric. I remember it was £90. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, why is it £90? She's like, well, you've obviously used £90 worth of electric. And I was like, does electricity not just come with the house?
Yeah.
And I literally had no idea you paid for electricity.
Yeah.
I was flabbergasted.
You had all the lights on.
I had all the lights on. I had the wee electric fire on all night long, sleeping with the TVs on. Fuck, I was walking around like wee Willy Winky after that with my wee candlestick. I was like, nobody turn a light on, don't you dare.
You had the washing machine going all out.
I was tumble drying everything. I'd wash like a hanky, put it in for 40 minutes.
Here you were washing your bras and everything.
That's when that stopped. Knock that in the head right and quick.
Knock the washing in the head.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So for anyone still living at home, pay for electricity, gas as well. Mental.
Oh, there's all sorts of things. There's all sorts of
shit.
that's
I think
that's like, do you remember in Schitt's Creek when she buys a dress or a bag, and she's like, and then the government just write it off.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah.
Like,
It's a tax write-off.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
The government write it off. Yeah.
Yeah, I
that
think
not
mine
how
would
it
be
works?
general
Yeah.
financial things in school
Yeah.
would have changed my life and saved me a lot of debt and a lot of fucking
Class
letters
called common
through the
sense.
door, and yeah.
Pay your bills, guys. Love you all. See you next week.
See you.
Bye, guys.